If I lost every single bit of trading knowledge that I have today and had to start all over again from zero, this is exactly what I would do to become profitable as fast as possible. I'm going to teach you step by step the fastest possible route without blowing money, getting emotional, or wasting years on nonsense that doesn't matter and doesn't work. I'm going to show you exactly what to study, what to ignore, how to learn a model, how to backtest properly, how to utilize demo trading, appropriate risk management, how to pass evaluations fast and consistently, and ultimately how to become profitable in as little time as possible. This is going to be a no bullshit video, straight to the point, just teaching you guys what I wish I would have been told when I started my trading journey. All right, first things first, we need to go through the pathway that I believe is going to get you guys funded and profitable as quick as possible. So I've split this up into 6 sections. We've got learning concepts, learning and mastering a model, backtesting, demo trading, evaluations, and then actual funded stage. And I'm going to go into great detail as to all of these. I have no idea how long this video is going to be, but I promise you this is going to be the most educational video on this topic on YouTube. So watch the whole thing because you are going to learn a lot from this video. The whole point of this is to just stick to the things that actually matters and cut out all the crap. So I spent a long time getting to the stage where I am now with trading. And if someone else had given me this pathway, I would have saved so much time. It's unbelievable. Because I learned so much stuff that I didn't need to learn, done so many things that I didn't need to do. Whereas if you just do these things, you literally just listen to what I'm saying and do everything I say, I promise you, you will get funded, you will get profitable significantly quicker than people who don't know this. So let's get into all of the concepts individually and let's get you profitable. The first thing we need to cover is the concepts. So this is the 6 concepts that you need to learn and everything else is unnecessary. Because as you guys will probably know, in the ICT world, there are hundreds, if not thousands of different concepts, and they all work together and they all contradict each other at the same time. And it's all a load of nonsense. Don't get me wrong, I was an absolute ICT fanboy. I still like ICT, I still trade ICT concepts, but you really don't need to make it as complicated as he does and other people in the scene do. Because when you kind of come to a point where it's not about trying to know exactly what the market's doing all the time and it's just about having a repeatable system that you know makes money, then you just really start to simplify your trading and just focus on the things that matter. So the things that I've said here is obviously if you're a complete beginner, you need to learn the market basics. So you need to know like what futures are, what Forex is. You need to learn highs, lows, trends, consolidations, candle anatomy, just like the complete basics. But then once you've got out of the way, you can move on to the actual important concepts. So liquidity, number one, most important concept there is liquidity. You need to master liquidity. You need to master buy side, sell side, equal highs, relative equal highs, how we can use liquidity, just everything to do with liquidity. You need to master liquidity. And then you need to learn fair value gaps and inverse fair value gaps. Fair value gaps are going to be used as targets and conditions, but I'll get into that in a different video where I teach my model. Inverse fair value gaps, I use those for understanding direction and for my entries. Displacement just kind of shows intent in the market rather than like we're chopping about or we're kind of struggling to get somewhere. It shows we are dying to get there. And then drawing liquidity is just where the market wants to go. How are you going to trade if you don't know where the market wants to go? So these 6, well, get rid of the market basics. These 5 really are all you need for a strong, profitable system. So you don't need to worry about all the breaker blocks and the mitigation blocks and all of that stuff because it's all nonsense. Like it works, and don't get me wrong, people that trade that make loads of money, but there's no point learning 100 concepts and trying to like piece them all together because you're just going to get analysis paralysis. So just focus on these 5 and I promise you it will save you so much time. It's unbelievable. Little side note, I'm going to be making a Futures Foundations series on YouTube, which is just going to be a complete series from market basics all the way through all of the concepts and then how to be applying all of them, how to make a model and all of that good stuff, the actual details to all of this. Rather than just telling you what to learn, it actually teaches you it. So that's going to be really useful for a lot of you guys that are getting into trading. So stay tuned for that. All right, the next phase is learning a model. Once you've actually learned all the concepts, you are now at the point where you are ready to learn a profitable model. Big emphasis on the word profitable. You need a model that you know actually works. So I would recommend learning from, well, obviously I'm going to say learning my model. If you want to learn my model, check out my other socials. I've got some stuff on there. I will make a video actually going through my whole model. And then make sure to join my Discord community. It's just a free trading community where I go through and try and teach guys stuff in there. And it's just a nice growing community of like-minded traders. So give that a join. Anyway, PB Trading, PB Blake, AG Trades and Cold Trades are the 4 people that I kind of learned from for futures. So they are definitely worth checking out. But yeah, just learn a model and then you can move on to actually understanding and mastering the model. So the next step, learn the model. Then you want to watch all, and I mean all, of the trade recaps of that model. So for me, when I was doing PB Blake stuff, I learned the model and then I watched every single one of his trade breakdown videos. And it was perfect timing because he started posting them as I learned his model. But yeah, so there's loads of them now. There's a whole library. I've got a library of mine. PB Trading's got a library of his. So is, I don't know if AG and Cole do actually, but they have backtesting sessions you can watch. But yeah, watch all of the trade recaps or trade breakdowns of the person who you learned the model from, because you need to just get it in your head what the model looks like, because it's all well and good learning the model, but it's like learning this, for example, say if they say the model looks like that, right? Say if that's what they tell you the model is, it's very different going from that to seeing it on the charts. So you need to actually go through and look at as many examples as you can of it actually on the charts, which the best way to do that is the trade breakdowns. So get the trade breakdowns, watch, take notes, take screenshots, really just know them off by heart, because it's going to be super helpful for the next few steps. All right, and then last thing to do with learning the model, you want to just spend time on the chart looking at the model in hindsight. So you've already learned the model, you've watched and learned the thought process behind the people that you learned the model from actually taking the trades, and now you want to just go through on the charts and just find the model when it occurred. Like, just go on and say, for the last 6 months, mark out 9:30 till 11 or whatever your trading session is, mark out your trading session, and then day by day just go through and see, did the model occur? Look at the model. Did the model win? Did it lose? All of that. Just really get used to seeing the model over and over and over again, because it kind of is like, obviously it's it's not pattern trading, but it is in a way. Like, there's discretion involved and it's not going to look the same every time, but it's just the whole pattern recognition of actually seeing it happen over and over and over is what's really going to drill it in your brain. So do these 3 things: learn the model, watch all the trade recaps, and then look through the model on the charts in hindsight, and I promise you, you'll learn that model like that. And now we're going to move on to backtesting. This is arguably the most important step in my opinion. Obviously, like, if you don't know the model, then you can't do this step. But in terms of what's going to give you the biggest and most efficient return for the time you're putting in, backtesting is number 1. So backtesting just lets you put yourself in previous markets. So say you could put yourself in 2024, and then from January 1st to the end of the year, you could just trade your session and click through when stuff isn't happening, and then trade when your setup does occur, and then you can just skip to the next day. So I think for me, it takes me about 45 minutes to do a month worth of backtesting, which is ridiculous, because say if it takes you an hour, you're doing a month's worth of backtesting in an hour. You would need to be doing a month of trading to get the same amount of practice with the model. And a lot of people kind of hate on backtesting because there's no psychology involved, there's no emotions. But in terms of actually just getting good at trading a model, there is nothing better than backtesting, because you can just get so much done in such a short amount of time that you just couldn't do any other way. So yeah, I think backtesting is an unbelievable tool that you need to be utilizing. And the way I would say going about backtesting is, first of all, you need to learn how to backtest. So just watch someone else's backtesting session. I've got a backtesting session up at the moment of January 2025, and I'm turning it into a series where I do every month of 2025. So go and check that out. But even if not my videos and someone else's, watch someone else backtest who uses the model that you use. And 1, it gives you more exposure to their model, and 2, it teaches you how to backtest properly. So do that first, and then just do a few trades yourself. Just backtest maybe 5 to 10 trades just to kind of get the hang of it, and make sure you know what you're doing. And then once you're confident in, okay, I'm pretty sure I know the model and I know how to backtest now, you want to start fresh and just grind for 100 trades. It doesn't have to be 100 trades in a day. It doesn't have to be 100 trades in a week. Say if you just do 5 trades a day, 20 days, and you've done it, just get to 100 trades, and then that will show you, do you have profitable stats over a large sample size? Because say if you're averaging 2 trades a week, right, and then you get 100 trades in backtesting, you in theory would be profitable for 50 weeks in real life, assuming that you can convert your backtesting stats to live markets, which I've also got a video coming out on, so stay tuned for that. And if you're going to be profitable for 50 weeks in backtesting, the only thing holding you back in live markets would then be your emotions. So get 100 trades done. I don't know, because it depends on the model with the actual stats. I would look for probably above a 1.3R average and above 70% win rate is kind of the sweet spot that I would think, okay, I know what I'm doing, I'm ready to go. But yeah, backtesting, super important. Make sure you're backtesting. Watch my backtesting video. I actually cooked up on it as well. I got like 90% win rate on there. So yeah, be sure to go and watch that. Do some backtesting yourself, and I promise you, you will thank me later. Right, the next step is going to be demo trading. So this is only if you are actually profitable in backtesting, because if you're not profitable in backtesting, you're not going to be profitable in demo, because demo is harder than backtesting. Backtesting just makes sure that you're profitable with technicals, profitable strictly with the model with no emotions involved. And now demo is, there's still not money involved, but it's real timing and real patience. And so once you are definitely profitable with 100 trades in backtesting, move over to demo trading. And I'd say demo trade for maybe a week to 2 weeks, and then evaluate, are you converting your backtesting stats to demo? If you are, then go for an evaluation, and then we can actually move on and start really trying to get funded, get profitable, get used to more emotions where there's money involved and stuff like that. But if you're not, and you are struggling on demo, don't think you no longer know what you're doing. You're just not ready for that jump to funding yet, because you haven't mastered the emotional side of it. So just stay on demo. If you really start struggling and you're taking trades that you shouldn't even be taking, then maybe jump back and do like 5 trades on backtesting. But at this point, it's just really learning to master your emotions. You just really need to keep practicing on demo. Just keep trading until you kind of master the patience side of it, and then you can move on to evaluations. Demo trading is going to seem a bit long because it's like, oh, I'm putting all this effort in and I'm not actually getting any money and stuff like that. But I promise you, it's more than worth taking a few weeks to demo trade, so that you don't end up just blowing accounts and then, or going too deep into trading and spending too much money when you haven't got any idea as to whether your emotions are in check. So yeah, demo trading, super important. Spend a week or 2 demo trading. If your stats convert from backtesting to demo, hop on an eval, and if not, keep demoing and you'll get there eventually. The penultimate step is evaluations. If you're super confident, so you've got super profitable backtesting stats, you are then absolutely cooking on your demo, and you are confident that you know what you're doing, I would risk 50% of my drawdown. So say if you're going for a 50k account with Alpha Futures Zero plan, code CUR for 10% off, 25% off at the moment because of Thanksgiving. But anyway, you get a 2,000 drawdown limit, risk 50% of that, and then you make 3R to pass and lose 2R to fail. And as I said, that's quite aggressive. That's what I do because I'm confident in passing my account. Also, only do that if you've got a little bit of money to lose. Like, it doesn't really bother you if you lose 50 quid if you fail one of them, because you know you're going to pass the next one or whatever. But if you're still slightly nervous or money is a little bit more of an object for you, just risk 25% of your drawdown. So you need to make 6R to pass or lose 4R to fail. And a little bit of advice for you guys is don't put evals on a pedestal. Everyone kind of gets really caught up in the idea of evaluations, like they're super important, and if you fail one, you're cooked. Really doesn't matter. I've failed evals in the past. There's one thing that I do with my backtesting where I'll go through and I'll see how often I have a 2 loss streak, and say if it's like, I've made a video on this before, I'll link that, make sure to check that out. It was about how I passed my eval in 3 days or something. You work out your hypothetical pass rate in backtesting, and say if it's like, you know, you're going to pass 1 in 2 or 1 in 3, then that kind of relieves a bit of stress if you fail one of them, because it's like, well, there's only a 33% chance of me passing it anyway, sort of thing. So you know you're going to pass either the next one or the one after, as long as you keep doing what you're meant to be doing. But yeah, just don't get so caught up in the idea of blowing a challenge, because it's really not as big a deal as people make it out to be. But yeah, so that's it for evaluations really. Super simple. Just trade it exactly how you was before. Try not to let the whole money side of it get to your head. Just do exactly what you was doing, and yeah, that's it. You'll end up passing one as long as you actually do know what you're doing. All right, and the final step is when you are funded. So with my risk, I drop my risk to 25% of drawdown. So if I was risking 1,000 on an eval, I'm dropping it to $500, because then it gives me 4 losses before I blow the account, which really shouldn't happen. And what I also do, which I don't do on the evals, is say if my take profit is $600 and we're up like 500, I'll move my stops rather than just keeping it at break even. I'll move it to $200 to guarantee a winning day. If you guys don't understand how props work, some of them will be you need 5 winning days to request a payout, and a winning day counts as $200. So worst case scenario on that day, you still get a winning day and you're a day closer to payout. But yeah, anyway, once you keep doing what you're doing, trading properly, doing the $200 thing when necessary, making sure your risk is strong but not over risking, get yourself a payout, use that payout to buy more accounts, copy the accounts together and scale to big money. That's the phase I'm in at the moment. I want to eventually finish the year off with 3 accounts, and then a few months into next year be at 8 accounts, so on and so forth. Because that's when it takes that relief off about the whole patience. Oh, I've only taken one trade this week. But when you're at a point where that one trade is $5,000, it really doesn't matter that you've only had one trade that week. So that's basically it. That is the exact pathway I would use to go from an absolute beginner to a profitable trader in as little time as possible. I've got 2 people that I'm mentoring at the moment using this blueprint, teaching them exactly what I've just taught you guys and getting on calls with them and stuff like that. So I'll be sure to keep you guys updated with how they're progressing so that I can actually prove to you guys that this is a good way to do it. And in the meantime, make sure to join my trading community. Link is in the description, because in the not too distant future, I will be dropping a mentorship where it'll be full one-to-one mentoring with constant access to messaging me and weekly calls going through things that you're struggling with and just pushing people to actually getting funded as quick as possible. So stay tuned for that. There is a wait list for that in my community, and even if that's not something that interests you and you want to go the free route to trading, just join it anyway. I'm still in there helping people all the time and notifying whenever I drop any good content. So yeah, give that a join, and that is it for this video. Good luck with your trading journey to those of you that actually take this on board. I look forward to seeing some of you doing very, very well in the future listening to this advice. But yeah, that's it for this video, guys, and I will see you later.